The Cyclist, by Erik Røde, 1755, read by Sam Adams. Short Story, Part 5, Ponti's Critical Moment. It was a tragic incident, and Carlo, upon learning about Tomas's death, was deeply upset. He associated the tragedy with Americans, forming a strong dislike for both America and Americans. This sentiment persisted through the Great Depression and the subsequent decades. As time passed, economic hardships prevailed, leading us through the 1930s and into the 1940s. By the time we reached the 1950s, Carlo had aged, and he had one son with whom he had a falling out. Carlo's son desired to go to America, but Carlo opposed the idea due to his negative experiences with Americans, especially considering what happened to Tomas years earlier. Despite their differences, Carlo's son went to America, and Carlo never saw him again. A few years before my encounter with Carlo's wife Ponti, they lived alone on a rainy night. Both Carlo and his wife were already in their later years. In the family, many young people had moved to big cities like Milan or Rome, and some had even migrated to other countries. The economic struggles of the 1930s and the aftermath of World War II had significantly changed the landscape of Europe by the 1950s. Part 6. Overcoming Reservations. On another evening, during very bad weather, Carlo and Ponti found themselves at home. Ponti experienced a severe pain in her chest, and Carlo, recalling his youth when he would ride his bike to fetch the doctor, faced the harsh reality that it was nearly impossible to get help for Ponti now. With no one available to come to their aid, Carlo looked around and went into one of the outer rooms, resembling a garage, where he retrieved the bike that belonged to his son. In some way, he intended to embark on a desperate mission to seek medical assistance. Carrying the bike to the edge of the road, preparing for what seemed like a suicide mission to find the doctor 20 miles away, Carlo, now an old man, was ready to set out. At that very moment, as he stepped out from his house onto the road, he noticed a car stopped with its lights on. It was a large American-made Cadillac. A man emerged from the car, waving to Carlo. Before getting on his bike, Carlo observed the scene with a hint of shock. The man approached and said, "Hi, we're lost and my wife is about to have a baby. We don't know where we are." Carlo looked at him, absorbing the unexpected turn of events. The Cyclist, by Erik Røde, 1755, read by Sam Adams.